Hello vegan adventurers, welcome to another vlog from Barcelona. Today we're gonna see the most famous site in Barcelona, the Sagrada Familia Cathedral. After we're gonna try out the vegan restaurant, Cocina Vegana. The quickest way to transport yourself in Barcelona is by using the metro line, which has many stops all over the city. After only few metro stops, we arrived to Sagrada Familia. As I said before, it's the most popular tourist attraction in Barcelona, so you should expect lots of tourists here. And as you can see, some towers are still in reconstruction. The cranes and other construction works present. It doesn't go well together if you want to take a picture of it. I think this reconstruction work has been going on for quite a long time now. We arrived at Sagrada Familia at around 4 o'clock and the tickets to get inside were sold until 5:15. You see how big demand for this site is, and this is not even a summer season here. We couldn't bother to wait another hour and to buy expensive tickets just to see the inside of the basilica, which to be honest we're not really interested in, but from outside it looks quite spectacular. We just took some clips of outside of Sagrada Familia. The Basilica of the Sagrada Familia was the inspiration of a bookseller, Joseph Maria Boccabella. After a visit to the Vatican in 1872, Boccabella returned from Italy with the intention of building a church inspired by the Basilica of Loreto. The apscript of the church, funded by donations, was begun 19 March 1882 on the festival of San Joseph to the design of the architect Francesco de Paula de Villar, whose plan was for a Gothic revival church of a standard form. The apscript was completed before Villar's resignation on 18 March 1883, when Gaudi assumed responsibility for its design, which he changed radically. Antoni Gaudi began work on the church in 1883, but was not appointed architect director until 1884. At the park just outside of Sagrada Familia, we saw these green parrots, which I didn't know that live in Spain. On the subject of extremely long construction period, Gaudi is said to have remarked, "My client is not in a hurry." When Gaudi died in 1926, the basilica was between 15 and 25% complete. After Gaudi's death, work continued under the direction of Domènec Tugranes y Gras until interrupted by the Spanish Civil War in 1936. Parts of the unfinished basilica and Gaudi's models and workshop were destroyed during the war by Catalan anarchists. The present design is based on reconstructed versions of the plans that were burned in the fire, as well as on modern adaptations. Since 1940, the architects Francesc Quintana, Isidre Pic Boda, Luis Bonet Igari and Francesco Gordoner have carried on the work. The illumination was designed by Charles Bugas. The current director and son of the Luis Bonet, Jordi Bonet Amargenol, has been introducing computers into the design and construction process since the 1980s. Mark Burry of New Zealand serves as executive architect and researcher. Sculptures by G. Busquets, Azzurro Soto and controversial Josep Maria Subirach decorate the fantastical facades. Barcelona-born Jordi Fowley took over as a chief architect in 2012. So I was wrong, the Sagrada Familia is not in reconstruction, it's still being constructed. The central nave vaulting was completed in 2000, and the main tasks since then have been the reconstruction of the transept vaults and apse. As of 2006, work concentrated on the crossing and supporting structure of the main tower of Jesus Christ, as well as the southern enclosure of the center nave, which will become the glory facade. Chief architect Jordi Fowley announced in October 2015 that the construction is 70% complete and has entered its final phase of raising 6 immense towers. The towers and most of the church structure are to be completed by 2026. The centennial of Gaudi's death, decorative elements should be complete by 2030 or 2032. Visitor entrance fee of 15 to 20 euros financed the annual construction budget of 25 million euros. Computer-aided design technology has been used to accelerate construction of the building. Current technology allows stone to be shaped off-site by a CNS milling machine, whereas in 20th century the stone was carved by hand. In 2008, some renowned Catalan architects advocated halting construction to respect Gaudi's original designs, which, although they were not exhaustive and were partially destroyed, have been partially reconstructed in recent years. Constructed between 1894 and 1930, the Nativity facade was the first facade to be completed. Dedicated to the birth of Jesus, it is decorated with scenes reminiscent of elements of life. Characteristics of Gaudi's naturalistic style, the sculptures are ornately arranged and decorated with the scenes and images from nature, each a symbol on its own manner. For instance, the 3 porticos are separated by 2 large columns, and at the base of each lies a turtle. In contrast to the figures of turtles and their symbolism, 2 chameleons can be found at either side of the facade and are symbolic of change. The facade faces the rising sun to the northeast, a symbol of the birth of Christ. It is divided into 3 porticos, each of which represents a theological virtue: hope, faith, and charity. The tree of life rises above the door of Jesus into portico of charity. 4 towers complete the facade and each are dedicated to saint. Visitors can access the nave, crypt, museum, shop, and the Passion and Nativity towers. Entrance to either of the towers requires a reservation and advance purchase of a ticket. Access is only possible by lift and a short walk up the remainder of the towers to the bridge between the towers. Descent is via a very narrow spiral staircase of over 300 steps. There is a posted caution for those with medical conditions. As of June 2017, online ticket purchase has been available. During the peak season, May to October, reservation delays for entrance of up to a few days are not unusual. So right now, when we had to wait 1 hour, was still a pretty good time. After seeing the Sagrada Familia, we had some more time left, so we decided to go again to Plaza Catalunya. There were some more streets that we haven't seen before. Some of the city's most important streets and avenues meet at Plaza Catalunya. Passeig de Gracia, Rambla de Catalunya, La Rambla or Portal de l'Àngel, in addition to Ronda del Sant Pere, Carrer de Vergara or Carrer de Pelai. The plaza occupies an area of about 50,000 square meters. It is especially known for its fountains and statues, its proximity to some of the Barcelona's most popular attractions, and the flocks of pigeons that gather in the center. After the medieval city walls were demolished in the 19th century, ambitious designs for the city's public spaces were conceived under the guidance of notable urban planners. Plaza Catalunya was conceived as part of the Pla Rovira in 1859, but no official permission from the government was given until 1888 Universal Expositions. It was urbanized for the first time in 1902 and was further modified in 1929 on the occasion of the 1929 Barcelona International Exposition, which also included the construction of a metro station. Architect Francesco Nebot designed the changes made in 1929. The charming Gothic quarter, or Berry Gothic, has narrow medieval streets filled with trendy bars, clubs and Catalan restaurants. The Museo de Historia del Barcelona shows remains of the Roman city. Roman Tower. A round tower that was used to defend the eastern part of the Roman wall of Barcino. It was part of the second enclosing wall of the city that was built in the 4th century AD. Barcelona has many walking streets with many attractions like historical buildings, restaurants, museums, and therefore it's the most popular touristic destination in Spain, probably the second most touristy place in Europe after Paris, which means there is way more money flowing in Catalonia than other parts of Spain, and that's why Catalonia wants to be independent, especially from economical perspective. And here we are at Cocina Vegana, vegan restaurant near Plaza Catalonia. We ordered all kinds of vegan goodies like vegan burgers, vegan wraps, vegan dumplings, which is of course not healthy to eat every day, but once in a while is okay as they do use more oil. Today was our last day in Barcelona, so I hope you get an idea of how Barcelona looks like and if you want to visit. Tomorrow we're flying to Vienna and then returning to Slovakia. We'll do some snowboarding in Austria and some crazy hiking on snowy hills in Slovakia. There's lots of new adventures coming up, so stay tuned for that. And for now,
Stay healthy and stay adventurous!